What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to settle in the life that was faithfully set out for you, or the ability to change the path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So, before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great, and even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that currently, right now in the world we operating on, is the fact that we're learning how to understand energy. It's hard to learn how to understand something that you never thought you would have to understand in your life. So it's like a shift into learning a whole new world. And because of that, oftentimes people have no idea which way to turn. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be aware of the best turning point for you. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because sometimes you have to reciprocate the same energy that someone gives to you, so they can find out that the grass is not always greener on the other side. You know what I'm saying? But if they are a person that goes up against you and who you are, then them being next to you, they will never even understand or get the point, because you are not allowing them to have a chance to experience that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's blue. You know what I'm saying? The lesson to understanding how to change a person's energy is the fact that sometimes they have to explore and find out on their own. It's just the difference in learning what's good, what feels safe to my nervous system, and what doesn't. It won't take long before you can recognize when a person is not safe for your nervous system. You know what I'm saying? You be around it constantly, you'll start to understand this is not what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to be myself in a place where I feel safe. And sometimes you have to allow a person to figure that out on their own. Because when you force and when you push, it's almost as if like they don't have a chance to experience what they do or don't like, because they're constantly around a certain energy that they feel as if they don't vibe with. But it's hard to, you know what I'm saying, be who you are in a world where people are just now learning how to study energy. People are just now learning the reality of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's like going into the 10th grade without any knowledge of how the 10th grade is. You got to learn it. You got to study it, you know? And because people in general learn by observation, oftentimes it's hard to learn the difference in what you have been settling for and what's comfortable and what could be better for you without actually experiencing it. You know what I'm saying? For instance, I didn't know how to swim when I was younger, but I just jumped in and went for it. And I turned out to be a really good swimmer. But had I not jumped in the water, I'd have never knew I could swim. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you scared to even go over there in the deep part. You feel me? So it's kind of like with humans, it's hard to say, but sometimes within the realm of being safe, they have to be able to experience the energy that they don't like. Because sometimes between the years of 1 and 10, any energy that you're around plays a very significant part on your life and your growth and how you see life. It is not until you have a chance to go up against different type of energy that you finally get a chance to figure out that the energy I've been used to my whole life does not make my nervous system feel comfortable. But at first, it's a challenge due to the fact that when I was around people that made my nervous system feel safe, I had the right to be myself. But when I was being myself, in the end, they still turned out to be exactly the energy that I was accustomed to. So they'll constantly test you over and over again just to see if you really are, you know, not like them. And again, people have a very good way of waking up one day with one mask and then waking up the next day with another mask. So it kind of gives you a visual of who people really are for real. And I feel as if sometimes the only way to have a person learn their lesson in what energy makes their nervous system feel comfortable is the ability to operate in the energy that you are accustomed and know how to shape until you get tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And then once you become tired of it, you'll start to realize that you're ready for something new. And when you're ready for something new, you start to understand yourself and what makes you feel safe. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people are blinded to understanding energy. It's like the blind leading the blind. So everybody is just throwing the fishing pole out and trying to get a grip on the biggest catfish. You know what I'm saying? But again, when it's just learning and balancing out your nervous system of who you are, you gotta kind of like discover you for you. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, sometimes I give out the same energy I get back, but sometimes I don't give out the same energy I get back. I just do me and be myself. And in time, that energy will speak for itself. Because we have a lot of people that are living in this copycat energy. Meaning, you know what I'm saying? I fall in line behind somebody else and what they're doing. Which is just regular standard programming they've been used to. You know what I'm saying? They're only used to a certain energy. And the only way they break out of it is when they start to realize they're actually not okay with that energy. And they know it's something different out there. They know it's something new out there, but they're testing it to see if it's real or if it's fake. You know what I'm saying? It's complex, but it's a very real thing. And I think the sooner you get an understanding of it, the better you become in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But oftentimes we get so comfortable with the energy that we grew up in that we don't think there's no alternative. We don't think there's no different way. You know what I'm saying? But again, it is very impactful on your mental between the years of 1 to 10. Anything that you learn basically is ingrained into your memory. And you basically take that same programming and you use it for the rest of your life. It is not until you have to unlearn and relearn a new program that it becomes complicated because you find yourself bouncing in between what you know and what's new. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it takes a person swimming in what they know until they get so tired they want to go into what's new. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. And it's each person is different. But you can't force your growth on someone else. You know what I'm saying? You can't force the growth you've done on yourself for wanting better just due to passing lessons onto someone else. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You can keep them as close as you want to. It's not going to work because all that person sees is something they're not used to, which is new programming. They haven't learned that yet. They're still stuck in the old energy that has subconsciously been programmed into their brain on a daily, consistent basis. And when you feel you had the ability to trust out of love, that person ended up being the very same person that you always thought they were, which is the person you get on a regular basis. A lot of people are not who you think they are. They pretend to be this one person, you know what I'm saying? And when they wake up on the wrong side of bed, the next day they're somebody completely different. And they do their best at trying to hide it, but oftentimes it's felt. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta give a person the space and opportunity to be able to basically figure out for themselves what they want. You know what I'm saying? Which means if you come to terms in figuring out what you want, make sure you do you and you do what's best for you. Otherwise, you'll find yourself backtracking towards the energy that has been governing your whole life from the age from 1 to 10. You know what I'm saying? But if you've done everything you could to grow and become better, there's no way in hell you want to go back there. So you have to do everything you can to maintain your own energy, which means you maintain your own vibe. You do your own thing. And a lot of people don't necessarily understand that, especially when it comes to terms with energy, or it comes to terms with them having to deal with something they never dealt with before. You know what I'm saying? It's a very real thing. And oftentimes it can be pulled in 7 different to 10 different ways. But when you know what's really going on behind the scenes, what you had to endure, the things you went through, the things you've seen, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to open it up to someone else if they haven't seen the physical proof. Oftentimes people only shift into reality what's real by pictures and video. Otherwise, they can't necessarily believe what you're telling them, because oftentimes you believe people and they be lying too. Everybody be lying to each other. So it's like kind of hard to believe somebody and what they be saying. But again, sometimes you have to give a person the same energy that they give you for them to be able to understand that this ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Because they will challenge it. They will go up against it because their whole motive is thinking that everyone is the same as them, no matter what face they put on, you know? And oftentimes that energy could just be you being yourself and you doing the complete opposite of what everybody else is doing. It's foreign to people because a lot of the people are looking for that satisfaction. They're looking for that company. They're looking for that love. So they constantly around the people that they think are going to give it to them because that's all they know. Because usually everybody got a motive. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a motive behind why they're being nice to someone. Usually it's due to, you know, the work environment, the people they're around. I've been in it my whole life. People put on this face and act as if they're truly nice. But when you discover who you are, you start to see that it's all just a mask, you know? So again, you gotta just be able to understand people, understand what you're dealing with. And usually you get a good sense of that after you be around someone for a long period of time. It's either you choose to match their energy and they only fight it because they addicted to it, or you choose to not match their energy by being yourself. And at some point, it'll be, you know what I'm saying, the energy that they really solely don't like being reflected back to them, that I have them make a choice on if they really want to stay on this side of the fence or they want to grow and go on the other side of the fence. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not going up against nobody that's blocked in a certain area of their mind, because you're never going to understand what I'm saying. The only way you're going to get it is if you experience it on your own, so you can get an understanding of what you don't want. People are not slow. They know what's good for their soul and what's not. It's just when you've been so addicted to a certain energy in your life, it's hard to pull away from it, because you didn't think it was nothing better, and you studied it so good that you thought that's all there was. Why would you want to move on to something else when you got the original programming down to a science, to where you can got it working for you? I understand. It's hard to move on from that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you have to be willing to just figure it out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Be able to take in your environment and study, you know what I'm saying, what you've been studying, and then try to study something new and give a choice on if that's what you want or not. I think facing an energy together with an energy that's new, you're going to have a lot of backlash. It's going to be difficult for a person that has grown to be able to continue growing, because every time they're around someone, they're coming at them with that old energy. So you have to take time for yourself. If you don't, you're going to drown. You know what I'm saying? But again, a lot of people never knew how powerful energy was. So they're only coming at it from what they think is necessarily right, when it might not be right. You know, everybody has their own energetic frequency, and you have to allow them the space to understand themselves, to figure out what they need on a soul level, within safety wise. Like, come on now, people are not dumb. You know what I'm saying? You got to just give them the energy to be able to thrive alone, especially when they're at a certain age where they're shifting out of, like, your age goes in stages. When you that baby stage and your mom is or dad or whoever is parenting you and guiding you, when you transform into that teenager space, you're getting rid of that having to be sheltered type of phase, and you're moving into I'm learning how to be myself. So let me learn without the hovering. You know what I'm saying? but at the same time within the realm of being safe. You get what I'm saying? And I promise you, people may act like they don't know what they're doing, but they're fully aware of what they do. You know what I'm saying? If they keep doing something, it's because they like it. I've been there. And when you decide to stop, it's because you got tired. I'm there now. You know what I'm saying? So do not allow yourself to run back to being toxic by not allowing yourself the separation. You know what I'm saying? Separation is needed. It's important to be able to continue to grow in who you want to be. That's keeping you safe. It may not keep somebody else safe, but it's keeping you safe, and you know it is. You know what I'm saying? But again, I think the test is in the energy that you don't like. How many times are you going to continue to be triggered? How many times are you going to continue to take your old emotions outside of yourself to pour into someone that's triggering you? We're going to keep pulling you until you cross over to the other side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a long time sometimes. It's not as quick as everybody think it is, especially when you've been knowing something for so long. You know what I'm saying? But again, match energy sometimes with people who need it to be matched. Pull out them receipts when a person keep talking to you like you stupid. Let's get real now. And then when it's too much, pull back and harness your own energy and let them have the chance to be able to discover who they are by themselves. You know what I'm saying? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.